It's been a hell of a year, but finally, we have seen the end of the Thunderdome. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. I thought it was fun. I thought we had some unique moments, but man, I can't wait to get live crowds back. But it is my pleasure to bring you my Monday Night Raw review for July 12th, 2021, the final Thunderdome era show. Let's get into it. We started off the show with a really mad Bobby Lashley. And when I say really mad, I mean big mad. And it's all because Bobby Lashley technically lost 1 week ago against Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston in tag team action. This was MVP who lost it, but Bobby is pissed. So then we head down to the ring and we get our first match of the evening, Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley. This one was a quick, short, and solid match. It built up Bobby Lashley to be the giant beast in this matchup, but then it also built up Xavier Woods to be the underdog. In the end, after fighting off his power, Xavier Woods got the chance to roll up Bobby Lashley and scored the surprise win. There's a lot of surprise wins on this edition of Raw, but this one was probably the most shocking. And all of a sudden, just like that, Xavier Woods has actually scored a pinfall over the WWE champion. To me, that means Woods should get a title match. But what do I know? I'm just some YouTuber. But if you thought Bobby Lashley was mad before, he mad now. He was so mad, in fact, that after the commercial break, Bobby Lashley actually left the building. Like, I don't know if he went to get a drive-thru or something like that, but when he came back later in the night, the dude was looking rough. We'll get into that though. Then we're going to continue on the story of Jinder Mahal, Shanky and Veer, and Drew McIntyre. Last week, Jinder Mahal stole the sword of Drew McIntyre, so this week you know the Scotsman wants it back. Jinder Mahal obviously knows that he wants his sword back, so he's goading McIntyre to come down to the ring. That was until McIntyre popped up on the Titantron and he revealed to the world that Jinder Mahal actually stole a fake sword. Because this is WWE and we always have identical props just laying around. And I mean, it was a good thing too that it was a prop sword because the real thing was still in the hands of McIntyre. Meanwhile, the prop was in the ring and it was split in half. That's right, Jinder Mahal literally cut the sword in half trying to egg on Drew McIntyre. But in the end, it was Jinder Mahal who got egg on his face. Because Jinder Mahal has been driving around a nice new motorcycle and McIntyre decided that he was going to destroy the damn thing. Now, this is all fine and dandy for the story of Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. It actually adds a lot to the feud itself. But when you do a little digger deeping, this entire storyline, the reason why Jinder Mahal is driving a motorcycle is because they literally are selling a toy. I got it over here, the Wreckin' Slam Cycle. So Drew McIntyre is riding a motorcycle that you can destroy. So it was literally all for the sale of a toy. Now we remain backstage and we take a look at Nikki ASH, her new name, which is almost a superhero, and Riddle. Two of my favorite characters right now on Monday Night Raw. These two have just been excellent. I love Nikki Cross's positivity. I love Riddle's timing, like his jokes are quite funny. Both of them got their lines in, both of them told their story, both of them got their characters over, and then it led into a match. This match was Naomi versus Asuka versus Alexa Bliss versus the aforementioned Nikki ASH. During this match, we had one weird moment where Eva Marie and Doudrop came out to ringside. They didn't like the words that Alexa obviously had to say towards Eva Marie, so she sent Doudrop after Alexa Bliss. Doudrop just launches Bliss over the top of the barricade, and then when they go to take a look at her, she's missing. So all of a sudden, Alexa Bliss is out of this match, and we are down to 3. But in the end, it was another surprise roll-up, this time from Nikki ASH, rolling up Asuka and scoring the win. I love Nikki ASH. What do you guys think about the character, though? Please let me know in the comments below. Time for one of the most unique segments on the show, in my opinion. The segment between AJ Styles, Omos, Eric, and Ivar of the Viking Raiders. Just a fantastic segment. We saw a promo from AJ Styles and Omos in the ring, and everything AJ does, I'm not trying to make a pun, but it's really phenomenal. Just a great performer. But he's standing in the ring next to Omos, and they're getting ready for their upcoming matches. We got a very entertaining match between AJ Styles and Ivar, which resulted in a shocking win. As AJ Styles was running towards Ivar in the corner, Ivar just jumped up and sat on Styles and pinned him for the 1-2-3. So all of a sudden, Ivar has a clean win over the phenomenal AJ Styles. Eric, on the other hand, kind of got wrecked. Omos versus Eric, just a short match. Eric got caught in the double-handed choke slam, lifted all the way up over 7 feet in the air and dropped right on his back. Omos wins his first ever televised singles match. The United States champion Sheamus is seen backstage just yelling at Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. He's pissed off that he's got to defend his title tonight after being injured for 6 weeks. And not only that, it's the person who injured him who is getting the title opportunity, so Sheamus is just a little livid. But he proceeds to take his aggression out on Humberto Carrillo right before their match, throwing him into some steel bars and injuring the man before he's got a title opportunity. After Sheamus is done beating up the fool, we see Damian Priest walk by and stare down Sheamus. For myself, I'm so pumped for this match. Priest is an amazing character, just such a cool dude, and Sheamus is great at everything that he does, so when those two eventually lock up, it's going to be magic. But we head on down to the ring. Humberto Carrillo says, as long as I'm able to stand, I can fight. Well, he didn't stand for very long. About 10-15 seconds into the match, Sheamus hits a brogue kick. 1, 2, 3. Humberto loses. And yeah, there's your chance, bud. Sayonara, see ya. Better luck next year. But then Sheamus decided, hey, I'm going to continue to beat up this fool because why not? I'm a big bad meanie. That was his mistake because out comes Damian Priest, chases away Sheamus, and this all but confirms this is the next set of feuds. Now it's time for what, in my opinion, was the best match of the night. Ricochet versus John Morrison. These guys gave us everything. It was so good. If you could only watch one match from Monday Night Raw, this is the one. It is fantastic. Falls count anywhere. Check it out if you missed it. And what made this match so good is that they were pulling from so many things from their Lucha Underground days. These guys did so many innovative moves together over in Lucha Underground that they brought it over to this match. It was exactly what Ricochet and John Morrison needed. It elevated both of them up, not even just one step, like 2 or 3 steps. Like Ricochet is all of a sudden a favorite to win Money in the Bank. John Morrison could win Money in the Bank and nobody would bat an eye. Like, these two guys have laid it all on the line. This match was fantastic. Towards the end of this match, The Miz was just getting involved a lot, so much so to the point that they needed somebody to come down and stop The Miz. Well, Q Riddle on his scooter just scoots on down and then takes The Miz by the back of his wheelchair and dumps him down to the ground. Miz was completely helpless as he just hung upside down. This gave Ricochet the best opportunity of the matchup. John Morrison was placed on top of the ladder. Ricochet goes to the top rope and then hits an insane splash through the ladder, pins John Morrison, and wins this matchup. What a fun match it was. Then we cut backstage and we're going to further the feud between Natalya and Tamina, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke. Look, this feud is what it is. The women's tag team titles just don't have any momentum, and I'm sorry, Natalya and Tamina, they're not the team to raise the prestige of these titles. We need somebody to step up. We need an actual women's tag team to step up somewhere along the line. I don't know who that is. I don't think it's Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, but the field is starting to get too thin, and I don't have any clue who could be the people to elevate these tag titles. Who do you guys think should elevate the tag titles? Let me know your suggestions in the comments below. We then saw a good, not great match between Rhea Ripley and Natalya. This thing was fine for what it was, but you know what? When you're just out there to make the women's champion look good, it makes you question why you're using the tag team champion to do so. I feel like anybody could have been put in that position. But granted, they did try to make it a bit of a story with Natalya having no chance against Rhea Ripley. So it was what it was. Quick match. Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide and picks up the win 1, 2, 3. But the main talking point is after the match. Charlotte Flair came out of nowhere, hit a chop block, a vicious chop block to the left knee of Rhea Ripley, and proceeded to lock in the figure 4 leg lock towards the outside of the ring. Like Charlotte Flair was hanging out of the ring, maintaining the figure 4 leg lock. It was vicious looking. And you have to ask yourself now, is Rhea Ripley going to be 100% going into Money in the Bank? Charlotte Flair learning from her father, the dirtiest player in the game. I mean, you know, it might work out for her. But now let's get back to Bobby Lashley, the final segment in the Thunderdome. We see MVP in the center of the ring. He's got Lashley's ladies by his side. He's got champagne ready to be popped. He's got glasses. Everybody's going to have a good time. And he wants to invite Bobby Lashley down to the VIP lounge to get to kind of the bottom of what's been happening with the champ. Remember, he did lose to Xavier Woods earlier in the night. So MVP calls him down to the ring, and Bobby doesn't answer. MVP tries again, and Bobby still doesn't come out. It was only on the third attempt that MVP called him out that Bobby Lashley finally made his way down to the ring, and the dude was looking hella rough. Like, you know when you go to a semi-formal and you have just a few too many shot skis, you come back to your friend's house, you stay over in your suit, and then you go home the next day? That is exactly how Bobby Lashley looked. Sleeves rolled up, vest unbuttoned, tie loose, and like the guy was just a mess. Also, side note, where the hell did he go for 2 hours? But as Lashley comes down to that ring, he stares down MVP and he says straight up, "I've had enough of this BS." Says everything that Kofi Kingston has been saying about MVP and Lashley getting soft is true. Lashley has had enough. He's had enough of the girls. He's had enough of the VIP lounge. He's had enough of the drinks and the distractions. Lashley has snapped. MVP can't believe what he's seeing. This guy that he just built up as the almighty WWE champion that he's been praising for so long is mad at MVP. Like, almost ungrateful, to the point that I'm starting to question, is MVP going to screw over Bobby Lashley this Sunday? Or does MVP fall in line and listen to the WWE champion? I'm interested in this story. But the biggest message of all of this is when he stared right down to the hard camera and he says, "I am going to tear Kofi in half." Whew. Let me tell you, I don't want Bobby Lashley saying that to me because that is a scary sentence. Because he could literally do it. But with that, that is the end of the Thunderdome era. Wow, we made it. And like, I know it's been a long year. I know that wrestling has been difficult to watch without live crowds, but I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody who continued to watch this channel during this rough time of wrestling. There is obviously some really good moments. There is obviously some really bad moments, and there's been some good developments as well along the way. But you know what? We're out of it. We are getting so close to having live fans back. And I'm just super happy that we're going to get some real reactions, not some piped in noise anymore. If anything, I fell more in love with wrestling over the last year because it showed me just how much I enjoyed what it used to be before this damn pandemic took over our lives. And I'm just so grateful that wrestling did continue on throughout this past year because it very well could have shut down. You know, I would have been out of a job. Who knows what we would have watched every single week, but I'm just glad that we got through it, and now we're getting back to live crowds. Oh, I'm so pumped, man. But that is going to be it for us here today. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you could, make sure you leave a like on this video. Also, making sure you subscribe to this channel before you leave. If you would like to check out all of our other stuff, it is available down in the description below. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That was a long run, but we made it through, everyone. Oh, man, we made it through. Take care. Have a wonderful night. I've been Khan, and that was the last show from the Thunderdome.